Hi, Doug Smith with another Restaurant Mastermind. I'm talking with Adam Golomb, who is the marketing director for Primanti Brothers, well-known brand, obviously up in the Pittsburgh area, 41 locations, Pittsburgh, Michigan, you're in Indiana. So you guys are spreading, you are growing. And Adam, first off, I appreciate you taking part. And the reason I wanted to talk to you is because of your marketing background. You've done marketing, you've been in the restaurant industry for a long time. I can't imagine you have anything in your employee manual or your company manual that tells you step by step what to or what to do when a virus pandemic breaks out. So my first question to you is, how did you pivot? What did you do, and what new things or directions did you have to come up with quickly to try to stay on top of this and sustain business?
Thanks, Doug. Yeah, thanks for having me on. Crazy time. I think nothing any one of us has ever experienced or hope to have experience again. But I saw it the best from one of my friends. He said, we've been doing crisis planning for 20 years, and I felt like we've done more in 72 hours than the last 20 years. And that's what it's been. We started talking about it. The weeks are blurring into each other. We're probably 5 weeks ago. Not at the level of closure that we expected. But we started thinking about it. What's, I think, helped us is prior to this, we had made major investments in online takeout, third-party delivery, our own delivery platform. So having that in place was, at least from a starting point, we had an online takeout system. And then we made decisions fast. We have a team made up of our operating partners, our CFO, head of HR, myself, and our CEO. And we started meeting multiple times a day and started making decisions fast. I think that was probably the pieces I look back on it. We were decisive, and we were decisive fast. Decisive on how we changed our business model, decisive on how to conserve cash. Our whole goal of this thing is to come out strong. But we had to make a lot of tough decisions along the way. We had to lay off over 1,500 of our valued team members that we are hoping to be able to bring back as soon as possible. And then we really, I think, from a communication standpoint, communicated with one voice to our team of here's how we're doing it. And our CEO did an amazing job of really being out front and explaining every bit of it, both to our internal team, but also to our external fans. We were definitely one of the first companies to get out with, here's all the changes we're making.
Now, you've been in this a long time, as I said, and I would imagine there are things that you learned from the '08 Great Recession. Mm-hmm. Economy went down all the way back to the economic collapse after 9/11. Were there any things that you learned from prior economic downturns that you were quickly able to go through and go, wait a minute, we should do this now? Things that you learned to say,
yeah. I think the first thing is value always plays. So it was that reminding people that we've been around for 87 years. We've gone through a lot as a brand. If you think about 87 years, going back to, I think, World War I, and we've survived many of these. So, value was the first thing. Like, we're going to have to offer value to our fans. And then the second one was thinking about supply chain. I've been through a couple of these downturns, and it was making sure our key suppliers were going to be stable and be able to get through it. And then the last piece was looking at every cost in the business in determining what we needed and what we didn't, and making decisions fast. I think that's the key to this. In this environment, it's, I'm planning for tomorrow. As a marketer, we planned quarterly. Now we're planning for tomorrow. And the other piece, which I can't stress enough, is communication. We have 2 phone calls a day. We're talking through the issues. We're making decisions. We're communicating really fast to everyone, because I think people are looking for some, what's happening, what's the decision, is this company going to be strong? Are we going to be able to survive this? And we've been fortunate. We've, both our customers and our team has really embraced us, and, much better response than we expected.
As marketers and even people who own companies, sometimes we can overthink things, which can delay making a decision. Or if you overthink it, you don't make a decision fast enough. For someone watching this right now, this is their first time ever going through something like this. Maybe they bought a franchise, or they opened a restaurant 5 years ago and the economy's been going great. What advice would you give them regarding how to make a decision, or how not to overthink things, or be afraid to make a mistake?
So I'll go through a couple of things. The first one, and I tell our team this every day, is you don't know what the answer is going to be until you ask. So we've been asking a lot of our supplier partners to step up and be partners with us. And many of them have come to the table. And when this is all done, we're going to remember the ones that came to the table. So I think some of the things we've asked for, we asked one of the large third-party providers to heavily invest with us, to, almost double down on our business. And they stepped up and did that. And, we're going to remember this when it's done. From an internal, promotion standpoint, I think there's two thoughts I've always done. One, which is a little weird in this environment, is it going to put you out of business? We ran a BOGO pizza promotion last week. Pizza costs nothing to make. And we sold a ton of pizzas, but if it went bad, it wasn't going to put us out of business. So I think that's the thing to think about. Like, it's running an aggressive promotion right now is not going to put you out of business. And then the last thing, which I preached even before this, was do it wrong quickly. Try things. There's a lot of things out there. There's advertising rates have come down dramatically. So we're looking at ways we can try some things and test really fast. And if we lose $100, we lose $100, but hopefully we'll come upon some real wins along the way.
Well, since you started in this, obviously social media has become a predominant way for people to market. You're strong in that realm. I see restaurants and businesses as a whole oftentimes look at social media as a foe instead of a friend. So how do you approach social media in a time like this, where oftentimes people are afraid of the negative, the bad review, the bad comment, to be able to use it to your advantage, because you're doing a good job of that?
Yeah. Well, first off, reviews have gone to zero. I think we're getting one review a day. So, that's enlightening from that standpoint, that you don't have to stress out about that. But we're having fun on social media. We're trying things. We're posting daily. We're doing some unique things. Today at 5:00, we're having our second virtual happy hour, where we're getting bands around. We actually have a band from LA that are a bunch of Pittsburgh guys that are going to perform live for an hour at no cost. We're doing a trivia session next week. So we're trying to take some of the, there you can see right there. We're trying to take some of the fun things that have happened in our restaurant and how do we still bring them to life, because we love to create a great bar environment. And then we're trying to do things that are topical. We were really fortunate to partner with Giant Eagle, who's a large grocery store chain in our footprint, and offer our team members that were temporarily laid off an opportunity to go work for them. As you can imagine, the grocery business is through the roof. And we did a post about it. And, a good post for us gets 100,000 views. This one's at 1.2 million. And that's the type of stuff that we've spent no money on, but people are looking for that right now. They're looking for those good stories. And people are using social media. I think I heard recently Facebook's up 70% in usage right now, and rates are down 50%. So, people are looking for that good story. So post the story, post pictures of your team, post the stories. We're posting pictures of our team that are delivering pizzas and sandwiches to local hospitals and firefighters. Those are the things people are looking for right now. They're looking for good stories.
That is something that we're seeing. We've instructed several different clients to do that. Unfortunately, a lot of them haven't. But the feedback we're getting from those that do, when they say, hey, this is Tom. Tom's worked in our kitchen for the past 2 years. He's married, has a couple kids. He likes this. People are coming into the restaurant or coming for their pickup, and they're giving a tip, and they're making sure Tom gets it. And it's face with the name, and that's such an emotional connection. So again, one of the reasons why I want to reach out to you, because you guys are doing it right.
Yeah, I think the other thing, which I got an idea of, maybe it's from you guys or somebody else, is we reached out to every nonprofit we've supported in the past year, and basically said, we need you to support us now, and gave them an offer to give to their members, which is a little counterintuitive, but we basically said, we were there to support you. Now we need you to support us. And we've seen some great feedback from that, and getting kind of our army out there to help support us, and support us during this time.
That's cool. One last question for you, Adam. If someone's watching this right now, again, I referenced the person who maybe opened a restaurant 4 years ago, first time going through anything like this. If there was one golden nugget or one piece of advice that you would put at the top of the list for somebody first time going through a situation like this, what would that piece of advice be?
Yeah, I think the thing, I would say the one thing is be decisive and communicate. Be decisive on trying things, be decisive on making, that tough decision. Be decisive on cutting your menu back at this point. Those are the things we're doing, but we're communicating the why behind it. When we've taken some of items off our menu that were a little more complex to build, a little unique ingredients, and when people ask about it, we communicate the why, and people get it. They're getting it.
Excellent. Adam Golomb, Director of Marketing for Primanti Brothers. Him and I are connected on LinkedIn. If you're not connected with Adam, he's a great source of information. I would imagine you're cool with people sending you a connection request.
Absolutely.
Because again, at times like this, the whole idea behind this restaurant mindset, I believe in the concept that a rising tide lifts all boats. And there's so much information how we can all help each other out in a time like this. So I appreciate you giving us, 10, 11 minutes of your time to be able to help pass along information that hopefully someone will benefit from. So, Adam, I certainly appreciate it.
Thank you. Best of luck to everybody.
Thank you.